just to try to stay focused. Don't never let anything you know what I mean, try to get you off your game plan. Maybe this is the devil or something. You know what I mean? trying to
It's coming out publicly. So now, a lot of people have something to say. Will the fight still go on? I have no idea. You get what I'm saying? Lamont Roach, you might need to make contingency plans or whatever.
It's like, even if you want to give Gervonta the benefit of the doubt and say that he's innocent, when you got track record of 4 or 5 DV cases, all proven guilty, bro, it gets to a point.
Following his recent arrest, Gervonta Davis has spoken out saying he is now more focused on his career. The upcoming rematch with Lamont Roach is in doubt, leaving fans unsure about the future. Some think Gervonta Davis's high profile makes him a target for accusations, but the effect on his career is still significant. Although no facts have been confirmed, the rising tension could put the fight at risk. If the situation gets worse, fans might have to face the possibility that the rematch will not happen.
Right? So Tank is on probation for that. So this will be a violation of his probation, but he's a celebrity. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to get a slap on the wrist. He has money and stuff like that. Now, the question I have is this, you know, what's going to happen with the Lamont Roach rematch? Will that fight still go on? Do you get what I'm saying? Now, I don't expect Tank Davis fans to, you know, they're going to brush it off like it ain't nothing, because that's what they do. They literally, a lot of them worship this guy. So, and I get it, I understand. However, will that fight still go on? That's probably why we haven't heard anything. I was listening to Blue Blood Sports TV, but then when I was listening to his video, guess what? I'm finna show y'all something. Now, some of y'all may say, oh, this is nothing. There's a podcaster that I watch all the time by the name of Ticket TV. I watch a lot of the big podcasters, right? Podcasts, right? I want y'all to see something. Y'all see this right here. Let me show y'all this. As you can see right here, Ticket TV is talking about this. And the title is this: Breaking News, Boxing Superstar Gervonta Tank Davis arrested for beating up women, beating up woman.
The future of Gervonta Davis's fights is uncertain as his legal troubles threaten planned bouts with Jake Paul and Lamont Roach. While no cancellations have been confirmed, the rising uncertainty is worrying promoters, fans, and broadcasters. Big boxing events depend on timing, logistics, and momentum, and any legal issues can disrupt the entire setup. Negotiations, promotions, and training camps are all scheduled with precision, and even a short delay can hurt both the business side and the fairness of the matches.
This couldn't come at a worse time for Tank. Of course, he's chasing that rematch with Lamont Roach, and that big money Netflix fight with Paul. And this case could potentially cancel both of these fights. For the Roach rematch, it's just kind of being assumed that this fight is happening in mid-August. Everyone has seemed to acknowledge that it's happening, yet there's been no official announcement. Why has there been no official announcement? Well, maybe they were/are waiting to see what happens with the case. They have known that this was gonna probably come out for the last month, so maybe they were either bracing for impact or hoping it could be all sorted out. But we're now about a month out from the proposed rematch, and time is running out. Every day that goes by, it looks less and less likely, and the news today certainly won't instill any hope. Even if the rematch does happen, the conditions are about as bad as they can get for Tank. In what might be the highest pressure fight of his career, he won't have a complete camp and would have legal proceedings hanging over his head. Combine this with the fact that he seemed a bit rattled and emotional after the draw. It's either a combination for a great performance or a combination for an absolute train crash.
Each day, the likelihood of Davis stepping into the ring on time appears to shrink. The Lamont Roach rematch is especially important because of their unfinished rivalry, while the Jake Paul fight offers a huge payday and the chance to attract both boxing and crossover fans. As the situation unfolds, organizers must plan for everything from new dates to full cancellation. For Davis, the impact goes beyond these matches, as any delay could slow his career, hurt his rankings, disrupt his rhythm, and affect his readiness. Everyone in the sport is watching closely, hoping for answers before these chances disappear.
Absolute train crash. And Tank especially needed this rematch to be able to get that Jake Paul fight. The Jake fight was seemingly signed and sealed, and all he had to do was beat Roach. And after he didn't, it was pushed back until he could, with Jake in the meanwhile opting for Chavez. But Paul versus Tank is a fight that doesn't make too much sense on paper, but when you break down the circumstances around it, it kinda does make more sense. It would be another fight like Mayweather versus Logan. It's the biggest money fight and the biggest eye-drawing fight Tank can currently get. And for him, even with the size difference, he would probably see it as a pretty easy night's work. And with all this, before the news broke today, there was a rumour in about the last week going around that they might be potentially skipping the Roach rematch and going straight to Paul. and I wouldn't be surprised if that's still somewhat in the plans.
Before the controversy, an online exchange between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach sparked more speculation about a rematch. Their back and forth on social media showed clear tension. Roach spoke with confidence, making bold statements, while Davis gave less direct replies, leading some fans to think he was not eager to face Roach again. Others believe his tone reflects personal stress rather than reluctance. Either way, public interactions like this often shape how fans and analysts view a fighter's intentions.
Hey yo, Gervonta Davis cancels the rematch with Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach posted, laugh out loud, buddy knows damn well I don't mess around like that. He gassing y'all up to justify why he ain't do his part of the deal yet. He really might pull out of this fight. Stay tuned. Gervonta Davis responded with, you a beat, I can meet you at your school, son, if you want. That got nothing to do with boxing. We talking about the fight that's supposed to be happening, the rematch, you feel me? And he want to respond about meeting you up outside, meeting you up at your son's school. That's a little confusing, my people. So it makes me feel like this might be true. Like if it wasn't true, Gervonta Davis would have said, yo, what are you talking about? The fight's still on. You getting knocked out. Not start trying to talk street. You feel me, my people? Let me know how you feel about this. Do you think this is true? Do you feel like Lamont Roach is just letting the cat out the bag? Like, yo, my people, Gervonta Davis might pull out of the fight. He's gassing y'all up and trying to start outside beef, but this is the truth. And if Gervonta Davis wasn't going to call out the fight, then he would have said, yo, that's a lie. I'm knocking him out, my people. You feel me? And then after this, Gervonta Davis also posted, yo, y'all could take the #1 spot. I don't care for boxing no more, my people. Pretty much saying like, yo, take it, Lamont Roach, because the next person that's behind him is Lamont Roach, because Lamont Roach just had the draw with him that everybody feels like he beat him, you feel me? Like Gervonta Davis before this, he was untouchable. Everybody felt like he was unbeatable. Nobody was going to beat Gervonta Davis. Whoever got in there is getting knocked out. And now that all switched once he got that draw with Lamont Roach, you feel me? And after all this, Gervonta Davis also was saying like, yo, we know where you live. We'll pull up to your house. We know where you live in Marlboro. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it, my people. Like if we talking boxing, let's keep it boxing. But he's talking street out of nowhere, and that's what makes me feel like, man, he probably is gonna call out the fight. Because if it wasn't, he would have said he's...
Fans of Gervonta Davis know he is facing one of the toughest stretches of his career as a top-level athlete. He must stay at peak performance while dealing with public scrutiny and personal responsibilities. Balancing competitive sharpness with emotional stability is difficult for any fighter, but for Davis the stakes are even higher because of his fame and influence. Many agree that his mental strength now needs to match his physical skills. If he does not find healthy ways to handle stress, it could affect both his performances and his long-term career stability. Supporters hope he seeks the right help, whether through mentorship, counseling, or changes in his inner circle to regain focus and control. His talent is undeniable, but how he manages the pressure will decide if his rise continues or if it is cut short. For now, many are rooting for him to channel his energy in the right direction and prove himself as a focused and composed professional.
Now, Gervonta, you better have that same energy when you get into that ring for this rematch with Lamont. Because I'm getting so tired of hearing about these DV charges you keep catching. So apparently, Gervonta Davis has been arrested for another DV case. I think this is about his 3rd or 4th one now, probably more than that. To be honest, this don't really shock me. Because y'all remember when he was dating Ari and they had got into a real bed and he pulled her wig off in the middle of the street, right? That incident was all over the internet. And fast forward, there was another incident that happened back in 2022 with another baby mama, where she claims that she was in the car and things got really rough between them and she made a frantic call to 911, which she should not have made, she claims. And also said that Gervonta did not hurt her or her daughter. So why did you call the police? It's giving I'm not mad no more, and at the end of the day, that's my baby daddy. So let me go ahead and scrap this up, clear up this rumor so nothing else goes any further with this. I really don't understand what be going on with men putting their hands on people. It's like, even if you want to give Gervonta the benefit of the doubt and say that he's innocent, when you got track record of 4 or 5 DV cases, all proven guilty, bro, it gets to a point. Don't you blow off enough steam in the ring? And this is really disappointing for Gervonta, because it's like, do you want to throw away your career? You're literally #1 right now. You've been #1. You probably will stay #1 as long as you keep doing what you're doing. Because as many people as he done fought, it seemed like Lamont Roach was his only real competition. Rematch on the way, by the way. Really big fight. He got to be there for that. I don't know what he's going through, and maybe it's just me, but I do feel like ever since that fight with Lamont Roach, he been off lately. He ain't been on social media as much. Now he going back to his ways like this. I'm gonna go check on that man. Y'all know what they say about boxers and the things that it does to the brain.
The first fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach ended in a disputed draw that split opinions among fans and analysts. Since then, many have called for a rematch to finally settle the matter. Walking away now would leave an unfinished chapter in Davis's otherwise strong career. While he has earned big wins and built a solid reputation, the unresolved bout with Roach still lingers in discussions about his legacy. A clear rematch could give fans closure and strengthen his standing among boxing's best. History shows that great fighters resolve unfinished business in the ring, proving their dominance through decisive results. With his talent, popularity, and platform, Davis has the chance to shape this story. Finishing what he started with Roach could boost his legacy and show he does not back down from high-stakes challenges.
It's official, August 16th, Lamont Roach, Tank Davis in Vegas. First and foremost, I've never seen somebody celebrate a draw so much in my entire life. My man went on a press tour saying he got the best version of Tank. Tank has no power. He has minimum skills. And it just made it seem like he was a cakewalk almost. One thing we do know, we see a lot of Lamont Roach and very little Tank, which is telling me somebody locked in and somebody's not. Lamont need to worry about putting the beard down and getting in the gym, because I haven't seen Tank since that fight ended, which lets me know he wants this rematch really, really bad, which means he's not coming to play around. Did he make a lot of mistakes in that last fight? Absolutely. Did he let you hang around too long? Absolutely. Did Lamont Roach show that he could take Tank's power? Absolutely. But we also know who looked like what at the end of the fight. If Tank shows up the same way he showed up in the last fight, Lamont, you may have a chance. 100%. If Tank actually turns on the heat in the beginning of the fight versus filling you out for the first 4 or 5 rounds, knockout in 6. But we're going to stay close to everything. We're going to watch some of the press runs and stuff like that, and we're going to see what type of Tank is going to show up, because one thing we do know is he was very uninterested in this whole ordeal. But it was very, very bad on Tank's part to actually have somebody move up who we had no clue about to hang around. That is what made Tank look so bad. It wasn't the fact that he had a draw in the fashion that he did. It was the fact that he was really supposed to clean you up because we didn't know you. So congrats to you for doing what you did and showing up that night. But some of the stuff you've been saying, it's just been like, all right, bro, remember, it was a draw. It was a draw. But what do y'all think? Who do y'all have for this rematch? How do you think it's going to go? Comment down below.
This current situation has reminded many of a similar moment in 2022 when Gervonta Davis faced controversy just before a highly anticipated fight with Ryan Garcia. At that time, unexpected legal issues drew public attention away from the matchup. Although the fight still went ahead, the similarities between then and now have raised questions. Some wonder if this is simply bad timing or a sign of deeper struggles with handling pressure during crucial moments. Either way, the recurring pattern is starting to worry both fans and analysts.
Transpired, I don't know any of the details. This is the information that is available to us as of this recording. So again, I'm saying unfortunate news because Tank Davis is scheduled to fight, and he's scheduled to fight in 11 days, and it's almost midnight my time, Pacific Standard Time. So that means really 10 days. Does this affect in any way? Will this affect Tank Davis and his fight? You know, I don't know. I don't know all the details, but we've seen stuff like this happen before in the past. And since it's so fresh, today being December 27th, I don't think it will impact or, you know, postpone his fight or anything like that, because it'll be too quick to go to trial or anything like that. However, some would wonder, could this affect him mentally, right? You left Mayweather Promotions, you're your own boss, doing your own thing. So this is your first foray into that. You have a difficult Olympian in terms of Hector Luis Garcia that you're getting ready to fight, a little bit taller and bigger than you. And, you know, now you have something in the background. This, I can't say is news to Gervonta Davis in terms of him having little run-ins, because he had a run-in with some type of vehicular hit and run.
Gervonta Davis faces an uncertain road as his July 29th, 2025 court date approaches. While no final decisions have been made, growing speculation points to the possibility of him taking a long break from boxing, possibly up to a year for a fighter in his prime. Such a pause could affect his conditioning, visibility, and ranking. Boxing careers rely on momentum, and time away from the ring can disrupt that flow. If Davis has to step back, it could alter his short-term future in the sport. With championship fights, endorsements, and major matchups potentially delayed or lost, this would be more than just a pause, as it could reshape the path of a career still full of potential as fans wait to see what happens. One thing is certain: how Davis handles this period will play a big role in defining his long-term legacy.
Gervonta got arrested, so the fight is off, y'all. So Gervonta got arrested for allegedly smacking his baby mother. And they was like, this not the first time. Damn, my boy. Now, I don't know if the fight is really not going to happen. I'm just saying, if I was Gervonta, I would not even do this fight. Because this is just a distraction. Look at him, y'all. He don't even look focused. He look like he in a sunken place. He just looking like, damn, fuck. So he was arrested in Miami on July 11th. They said this little altercation that supposedly happened between him and his baby mother happened on June 15th, which was Father's Day. So they say Gervonta went to his ex-girlfriend's house to go pick up the kids. And when the kids got in the car, an argument happened, allegedly, between him and the baby mother. And he told her, hey, get these kids. And then when she proceeded to get the kids out the car, that's when she said he struck her in her face. Now, y'all, I don't know if he did it. I'm hoping he ain't do it. That's my boy. So she said after he did that to her, she had a minor cut on her lip from the incident. This shit crazy, fool. So what do y'all think? If it was you in this situation, how long you think he finna sit? And would you still do this boxing match that's supposed to happen on August? I'm just telling y'all, I don't know, bruh. He do not look like he focused. I don't want this man to get in that ring and then lose that like for show, go in there and fuck around, get knocked out. I'm like, damn, bruh. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments.
Given the situation, some feel this could be the right moment for Davis to step back and reassess. A break would not mean leaving boxing for good, but could be a chance to reset. Time away from the spotlight can provide perspective, and with the right support it might help him come back with greater focus and clarity. True champions are defined not only by titles, but by how they grow through challenges. This period could be an opportunity for Davis to rebuild stronger, both in his career and in his personal life.
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry. You know what I mean? Because I have two girls, two daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
Shout out to Tank Davis saying that he's going to go to therapy because he wants to soften up for his daughters and he wants to let go of the anger. And yes, although maybe the anger served him in his boxing career, it's not currently serving him now at the moment being the father. So shout out for Tank Davis. That's a real man. A real man is willing to be gentle in a tough, cruel world, right? It doesn't take much for us to be angry in an angry world. It takes a lot of courage for us to soften up and shine our light, whereas we've been in darkness our whole lives, or maybe our darkness got us to success, right? So like Tank Davis obviously became successful, putting the anger towards boxing, but now he's on this next level of life and stepping into his therapy era, which I love to see. So shout out to Tank Davis for stepping into your healing era. Let's go.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned and we'll see you next time.